The classroom hummed with the low static of boredom. Fluorescent lights buzzed above, washing everything in a pale, lifeless glow. 20 students hunched over half-filled notebooks, waiting for the bell to save them. Ava Callahan sat in the second row, stiff and silent, hoodie pulled forward, trying to hide what she couldn't hide anymore. A lump bulged beneath the skin of her upper forehead, just below her hairline, round, swollen, tense like a balloon stretched to breaking. It burned. It pulsed. It felt alive. She kept her head down, but the pressure was unbearable. Every heartbeat throbbed inside that swelling. Just make it through this class. Mr. Dalton flipped through a stack of worksheets at his desk. All right, everyone, pass these back. A sudden stab of pain shot through Ava's forehead. Her hand flew up, pressing against the lump. A soft, wet creak, like something inside shifting. Her pulse stopped. Tessa leaned toward her, whispering, "Ava, are you okay? Your forehead is..." Crack. Not loud, but sharp. Like a tiny balloon snapping open. A warm spray burst across Ava's skin. The cyst exploded. Milky pus splattered across her notebook, the desk, the worksheet in front of her. A droplet shot onto the glasses of the girl sitting ahead of her. There were 2 seconds of frozen silence. Then chaos. "Oh my God, did that come from her forehead?" someone shrieked. Chairs slammed backward. A boy gagged. A girl screamed and dropped her phone. More phones came out instantly. "Record it. Dude, this is insane. I'm getting this on TikTok." Ava's vision blurred. She wiped at her forehead frantically, but the smear only made it worse. Her skin stung, but humiliation burned hotter. Caleb, her crush, stared at her with wide eyes. "Ava, you're bleeding or something." Mia Solis lifted her phone and zoomed in. "Smile for the camera, Cyst girl." Laughter. Gagging. Whispers like knives. Ava's breath hitched. Her voice cracked. "Please, stop filming." But no one stopped. Her worst moment wasn't just happening. It was being documented. She grabbed her backpack and ran. Pus on her forehead, tears in her eyes, leaving a trail of humiliation behind her. And behind her the cameras kept recording. Because pain isn't enough anymore. People need content. 2 weeks earlier. Sunlight filtered through Ava Callahan's window, painting her room in soft gold. She sat at her desk, sketching the silhouette of a cityscape in her notebook, pencil strokes light and careful. Here she felt safe, hidden from judgment, hidden from attention. No swelling. No stairs. Just peace. Her alarm beeped, pulling her back to reality. Ava tied her shoelaces, slung her backpack over her shoulder, and fixed a few loose hairs into her messy ponytail. Her forehead was clear, smooth, something she never even thought about. At school she walked next to her best friend, Tessa Reed, the girl who talked fast and felt everything deeply. "Ms. Artist," Tessa teased, bumping her shoulder, "one day your sketches are gonna be worth millions." Ava smiled shyly. She didn't argue, she never argued. She just kept her hair tucked behind her ears, head slightly down, the way introverts learn to exist. Sometimes at the lockers, Caleb Ross passed by, tall, warm smile, captain of the basketball team. Not arrogant. Not loud. Just quietly magnetic. "Morning, Ava," he'd say with a soft nod. Those 2 words set fire to her entire nervous system. Her drawings changed after that, sketching him in small pieces. Eyes, lips, the curve of a smile. Life felt manageable. Predictable. Balanced. And Ava had no idea that soon the one part of her body she never thought about, her forehead, would become the center of her nightmare. She had no idea that a quiet life can change with one tiny bump. And a single moment of denial. It started on an ordinary Tuesday night. Ava leaned toward her bathroom mirror, removing her makeup with slow, circular motions. Halfway through wiping her forehead, she felt it, a tiny bump beneath her fingertips. She froze. She brushed her hair aside and leaned closer. There, on her upper forehead, just below the hairline, sat a small red bump. Smaller than a grain of rice. Barely noticeable except to the one who discovered it. How weird. She touched it lightly. A sharp sting. Ow. Footsteps approached. Her mother, Laura Callahan, entered the bathroom, still wearing her diner uniform. Hair frizzy from the long shift, apron smelling faintly of burnt coffee and fryer oil. "You should be sleeping," Laura muttered, reaching for a bottle of aspirin. Ava pointed toward her forehead. "Mom, look. I think I'm getting a pimple or something. Right here." Laura squinted, leaning in for half a second. "Ava, it's tiny. You barely have anything there." "But it hurts." Laura waved a hand dismissively. "Teenage skin. Hormones. It'll go away on its own. Ava hesitated. Should we get it checked? A doctor? Laura scoffed. Honey, we don't have money for every little zit. Just put toothpaste on it or something. Ava stared at her reflection, at the small bump that pulsed slightly beneath the skin. But it doesn't feel like a pimple. It's nothing, her mother insisted. Trust me. Ava swallowed, her worry dissolving under the weight of her mother's certainty. If Mom wasn't concerned, maybe she shouldn't be either. She turned off the light, walked to her room and climbed into bed. Her fingers drifted to her forehead again, the bump warm against her skin. She closed her eyes. It's nothing. Just a pimple. It'll disappear. But in the quiet darkness, the tiny bump pulsed again. Like it disagreed. By Saturday morning, the bump wasn't tiny anymore. Ava stood frozen in front of the bathroom mirror. The bump on her upper forehead had grown, now the size of a marble. The skin stretched tight and shiny, the redness spreading across her forehead like a bruise under glass. Her heart hammered. She brushed her hair forward, trying to hide it. But the lump stuck out beneath the strands, obvious, unnatural. Her stomach knotted. She grabbed scissors from the drawer. Tessa has bangs, maybe I could. She sectioned off a chunk of hair and chopped it. The hair fell unevenly across her forehead. She looked like someone who'd cut their hair while crying at 2 a.m. Because she had. She tried brushing the hair down. It covered the bump, sort of. Perfect, she lied to her reflection. At school on Monday, the fluorescent hallway lights revealed everything. Her cut bangs stuck out awkwardly, uneven and too short, and the swollen lump still pushed forward like something trapped beneath the skin. Tessa's eyes widened. You cut your hair? Ava forced a laugh. Yeah. Wanted a change. Tessa stepped closer, squinting. Ava, are you sure everything's alright? I'm fine. She wasn't. By third period, the swelling grew. The pressure intensified, a deep, throbbing ache like heat trapped under her skin. When she raised her eyebrows, pain shot through her forehead. When she laughed, her skin tightened painfully. She kept her head down and avoided eye contact. But people notice when something looks wrong. Near her locker, someone whispered, Is she growing a horn? Another voice snickered. She looks like a unicorn fail. Her cheeks flushed hot. In the restroom, she tried pressing a warm, wet napkin against the lump. Sharp pain exploded behind her eyes. She gasped, gripping the sink. This wasn't a pimple. This wasn't normal. She stared at her reflection. At the swollen bulge pushing against the makeshift bangs. Please stop growing, she whispered. But her body ignored her. The cyst kept expanding. And the pressure inside her forehead was only getting worse. By Wednesday, Ava's forehead felt like a drum someone was beating from the inside. Every heartbeat echoed inside the lump. She kept her eyes low, her bangs forced forward desperately to hide the swelling beneath. But the lump had grown past the hairline now, pushing outward, forming a round, noticeable mound beneath her uneven bangs. She walked down the hallway trying to hold her head still. Every movement sent a pulse through her skull. Then she saw him. Caleb Ross. Tall, soft-eyed, the only person who ever made her feel like she wasn't invisible. He stopped at her locker, leaning a shoulder against the metal door like it was the most natural thing in the world. Hey, he said, voice calm, familiar. New hairstyle? Ava swallowed. Yeah. Just felt like trying bangs. He smiled, not the kind that mocked but the kind people write poems about. They suit you. Nobody had complimented her in days. Not since the swelling started. Not since she began hiding from mirrors. But Caleb either didn't notice the lump, or he pretended not to. Are you nervous about the talent showcase next month? He asked. Tessa told me you might submit your drawings. Ava's heart stuttered. She hadn't submitted anything. She hadn't even considered it. She was too busy hiding. She tucked her bangs tighter over her forehead. I don't think I'm good enough. Your art says otherwise. Caleb took a gentle step closer, lowering his voice. You don't have to hide from the world. You're allowed to take up space. If only he knew. She was hiding more than art. She was hiding a growing lump of fear beneath her skin. The bell rang. Caleb smiled one last time. Think about it, okay? As he walked away, Ava held onto the fragile warmth he left behind. Even while the cyst throbbed beneath her bangs, reminding her that pain always finds a way to be noticed. A tiny voice inside whispered, Don't let him see you like this. Because if he did, maybe he wouldn't smile next time. Friday morning. Ava woke to a pressure so intense it felt like someone was pressing a heated stone against her forehead. She stumbled into the bathroom and turned on the light. Her breath caught. The lump had grown overnight. It was no longer marble-sized. It was the size of a golf ball, pushing outward from her upper forehead, stretching the skin shiny and tight. The edges were inflamed, angry red, the center bulging like it wanted to break through. "I can't," she whispered, voice trembling. She tried brushing her bangs forward. They barely covered half of it now. Panic swelled in her chest. Tat tat tat, someone knocked at the bathroom door. "Ava, you're going to miss the bus," her mom shouted through the door. "I don't feel good," Ava snapped back, panic sharpening her voice. Laura pushed the door open, irritation prepared on her face, until she saw it. Her expression shifted to alarm, then immediately back to dismissal. "It still looks like a cyst." "A cyst doesn't grow like this," Ava cried. Laura forced a shaky exhale. "We don't have insurance for ER visits. We'll go when it calms down." It was an event. Ava grabbed her backpack and ran. Through the desks, out the door, down the hall, leaving behind a classroom filled with chaos, and a dozen phones uploading her humiliation to the world. Ava didn't stop running until she reached the girls' bathroom at the far end of the hallway. She pushed open the door, stumbled into the last stall, locked it, and sank to the cold tile floor. Her bangs were soaked, her forehead sticky with pus, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her whole body shook. Her phone buzzed. Then again. Then again. Notifications. She wiped her forehead with trembling fingers, but the mess only smeared. Her breath came in short, broken gasps. Outside the stall, Tessa's voice echoed gently. "Ava? Please open the door. I brought tissues. I'm here, okay?" Ava couldn't answer. Her throat was too tight, her humiliation too loud. Bus. A new message. From the group chat titled, "Campus Queens. Mia. No, I got the whole thing on camera." Attached the video. Ava's heart slammed against her ribs. She clicked it with shaking hands. There she was, slow motion. The bulge beneath her bangs. The pop. The spill. Mia screaming. Students recoiling. And then the caption. Her forehead just exploded, #CystGirl. Her stomach dropped. More messages came in. "Is this real? Send me the video. Post it to TikTok." A notification popped up. 1,427 views. 3,912 views. 7,501 views. Her humiliation wasn't just spreading, it was accelerating. Another message lit up her screen. "Caleb. Ava, I didn't film it. I swear. I'm sorry you're going through this." Her chest caved in. A second notification. Am I on her story? She should have stayed home. Ava dropped her phone. The sound echoed through the bathroom like a verdict. Tessa pushed open the stall and knelt beside her. She didn't flinch at the mess, didn't hesitate to wrap her arms around Ava. "Hey," Tessa whispered fiercely, "look at me. You are not what they posted." But Ava wasn't listening. Because the internet didn't care about the truth. It cared about the spectacle. And Ava had just become one. Monday morning. Ava walked through the school doors like a prisoner returning to the scene of a crime. Whispers followed her immediately. "That's the girl from the video." She popped like a water balloon. Forehead volcano. Every word felt like a shove. The cyst wasn't there anymore. But the shame remained like a scar. Students nudged each other when she passed, phones already pointed at her in case something else happened. A few even pretended to cover their foreheads dramatically and fake screamed. Ava kept her eyes on the floor, bangs hiding her face. She wasn't hiding the cyst now. She was hiding herself. At her locker, Caleb approached slowly. "Ava, please talk to me." She didn't look at him. Couldn't. "You don't have to pretend you care." "I'm not pretending." Behind him, a camera flash fired. Mia stood 10 feet away, phone raised. "OMG, Caleb wants cyst girl now?" she mocked. Caleb's face changed, his posture shifted. He stepped back. Just one step. But that single movement shattered Ava. She slammed her locker and walked away. At lunch, every table was filled. Except one. Her table. Tessa tried to sit beside her, but Ava shook her head. "Don't," she whispered. "They'll start dragging you into this." "I don't care about them," Tessa said, voice trembling. "I care about you." But Ava had already disappeared inside herself. She stopped eating lunch. Stopped drawing. Stopped speaking. 2 days later, she didn't show up to school. 3 days later, still gone. Her mom came into her room one night, guilt softening her voice in a way Ava had never seen. "Ava. I'm sorry. I should have listened when you said it hurt." Ava didn't answer. She just stared at her sketchbook, blank, untouched. A week later, the school counselor recommended a transfer. Not because of safety. Because of humiliation. Ava left without saying goodbye. But humiliation travels. It stays in memory. It stays on the internet. It stays with you. The new school felt quiet. Different. No whispers. No stares. No phones lifted like weapons. Just rows of lockers and students who didn't know her name. Or her humiliation. Ava sat in the clinic waiting room with her mom. The antiseptic smell should have made her anxious, but instead, she felt relief. Finally, someone was taking her pain seriously. The door opened. A man in blue scrubs stepped out. Dr. Rowan Pierce, calm eyes, steady voice. Ava Callahan? He asked kindly. She stood. He examined her forehead, pressing gently around the healing cyst site. Unlike everyone else, he did not flinch. He did not mock. He did not minimize. How long did this hurt? He asked. Ava's eyes softened. Too long. Dr. Pierce nodded slowly, thoughtfully. Pain ignored becomes pain multiplied. This was not nothing. It was an infected cyst. He paused. You did the right thing coming in today. Ava swallowed past a lump in her throat. For the first time, someone validated her pain. The procedure was simple. A numbing agent. A precise incision. Complete drainage and treatment. Minutes later, Dr. Pierce handed her a small mirror. It's gone, he said softly. And you're okay. Ava stared at her reflection. Her forehead was flat again. The swelling, the deformation, gone. But more importantly, the fear was gone. Outside the clinic, her mom grabbed her hand. I should have listened, Laura whispered. I'm sorry. Ava held her mother's hand a moment longer before speaking. Next time, believe me. That evening she sat at her desk, opened her new sketchbook and wrote on the first page. If something feels wrong, speak up. Your pain is real, even if someone else can't see it. She posted it online. Not to relive her humiliation, but to help someone avoid theirs. And for the first time in months, Ava felt strong. Ava faces the camera, her forehead healed, her voice steady. If you've ever felt ignored when something was wrong with your body, you're not alone. Trust yourself. Speak up. And if someone tries to silence you, prove them wrong. Comment below, my pain is real,